Good evening, everybody.
Missing a nail. Good evening. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Good evening, everybody. Do it every time.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. Oh.
What's up?
This I just thought about it. Jesus, I've been out of school 20 years this year. Lord. I'm still young, and I'm eating this peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm hungry. Hey,
Diane, what's up? Happy New Year to you.
Sugar?
I don't know how it is. It's 8:30, and it seems like it's about 12 midnight.
Okay, 'cause I'm alright.
And they like just be slowing down right before the call.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm alright today. So how was everyone's day? Hey, Jessica.
What up, Jessica?
How you doing, girl? I don't talk about me, but my fingernail broke off, and it's halfway down my nail bed, so I gotta let this finger grow some more before I can get it fixed properly.
All right, so tonight, we're gonna let you guys. What's up, Erica? We're gonna let you guys determine what subject we're gonna talk about tonight. We are ready and equipped to talk about any of them, but we're gonna give you a few to choose from as to what subject we want to talk about. Before we get into all that, just want to make sure everybody come in and just see, what's been going on. The holidays has gone by.
Yes.
Christmas has gone by. New Year's has gone by.
Kwanzaa and all those other good holidays. Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them too. Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten into the new year. The Omicron variant is
Out of control.
There's a new thing.
Two.
Go ahead.
There's one. They call it Flu-Rona. It was found in Mexico.
What's it called?
Flu-Rona. That's the nickname I guess they're giving it, because it was a strand of influenza and COVID mixed. Excuse me. And it was found in Mexico and Israel or France, one of them. Then another one came out, and it was called H1U. And that one, I think I'm saying it right, that one they found 46 different mutations of it. That one was found in Israel. So, we're going to have to wear masks for a while, it seems, because everybody got germs. It's just germs everywhere.
So it's New Year, just in case you don't really know who we are. What's up, Crystal? We're going to introduce ourselves to you, introduce to you what this is, and all of that, just in case you're just joining us for the very first time. Go ahead, babe. Oh, you got food in your mouth. I'm Jared.
I'm Marquita.
And we're the founders of How to Make Love Work.
How to Make Love Work.
Yeah, and it's a business empowering, encouraging, and inspiring love. That's what it's all about. And with that, we have a YouTube channel that you can go on YouTube and check us out with. We have a couple mini series that's going on ongoing with different couples that we've counseled, and that they share their love story. We come on here every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. And just talk about all types of relationship topics, not just marriage topics, but relationship topics. What's up, Donisha?
Hey, Donisha.
And we've been married for 15 years. 15 years, and we have
past October.
We have 3 children.
19, 13, 11.
And 11. And
we have a pup. Well, she's not a puppy anymore.
Yeah, we got a dog, a golden doodle. Are there any dog lovers, right? And if you got a dog, you're a dog lover, let us know what kind of breed you have. We have a golden doodle.
And she will be 6 years old next month. We've got to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's right here, right down
At
here.
all times, right there. All right.
I need some water for these. So, yeah. Hey, Uncle! How you doing? Uncle. So, Kendra McKenzie, hey, Happy New Year, darling. How are you? How the kids?
All right. So, so here's some of the topics that we want you guys to choose from for us to talk about tonight.
Give them just, yeah.
We got a lot of topics that have come in. And man, people want to know about relationships. People want to get some advice and get some encouragement or some direction regarding relationships. We love love.
Or just start a conversation.
Yeah, and we are always counseling people and couples that have been married or couples who are married, divorced couples. What's up, Dia?
Hey, Dia.
Couples who are engaged. Couples who are not engaged and they're just dating, and they come to us for relationship advice, and we give them what we've learned over the years. So all right, so here are some of the topics. 3 of them we need y'all to chime in as to which topic tonight we're going to talk about. All right.
Yes.
Let's see. Here's one. Number 1: knowing when an argument has ended. All right. Knowing when an argument has ended. That's number 1. Number 2: how to keep intimacy fresh in your relationship. All right. And number 3. You pick the third one.
No, I ain't gonna do that one yet. That was good. It's a new year, so let's talk about everybody trying to get their fitness goals and weight goes down. So let's try what to do when your partner or your spouse has an issue with the way that you dress.
All right, so those are the 3. I'll go them again. I need y'all to just in the comments say 1, 2, or 3. Which one are we going to talk about tonight? Is that knowing when an argument has ended? 1, 2, how to keep intimacy fresh in your relationship? Or 3, what to do when your partner or your spouse has an issue with the way you dress?
Spend it.
Kamisha, what's going on?
Okay, wait
Marcellus,
a minute. Hey!
what's up?
Okay, Uncle Arthur said January 7th will be 38 years. Congratulations!
Some
Oh my God.
honey.
Oh. You feel me? Oh
Talk
my
on that
God.
one. Talk on that one, Unc. Talk on that one, Unc.
Stop. Hey, my Kamisha. Marcellus, how are you? How are you?
I bet.
Security say all of them. He's
Maybe
talking
some more clothes, intimacy. All right, so y'all gotta let us know 1, 2, or 3. Which one we gonna talk about? 1, 2, or 3. I'm gonna give them to y'all again. Come on now.
We got a
We
couple of
need some
them.
participation.
Let's see, all of them. Somebody said 3.
Okay, we got somebody said 2,
Okay.
3.
So we got 1 for 3,
All right,
for 2,
I'm gonna
one
give them
for
to y'all
all
again.
of them.
Give it to y'all again. We need to determine which one. Here they go again. Number 1, knowing when an argument has ended. Or 2, how to keep intimacy fresh in your relationship. Or 3, what to do when your partner, your spouse, has an issue with the way you dress. All right,
Okay.
1. All right, bet. So we got 2 for 1. 2 for 1 deal.
1 for 3, 1 for 2.
All right, bet.
Okay.
1. All right, bet.
Marcella.
What up, Marcella? All right, Marcella, meet Marcellus.
I know, it's a Marcellus on here.
What's up, Danielle?
Danny B. Thugga. Okay.
I be so
goodness
disobedient.
gracious. Everybody, no.
Oh, Dia. All right, Dia. Marcella says 1.
Everybody says
Dia.
1.
Tiffany says,
Okay.
hey, what up, Tiffany? It's Def the winner.
Yeah, it's the winner.
What else, Zakaria?
Oh, my word.
All right, so here we go.
Hey,
So,
Zakaria.
all right, so you all have spoken. The topic for tonight is knowing when an argument has ended. So let me just ask you, how many of y'all still... Yeah, Uncle Ott said let's ride with 1. So how many of y'all still arguing? Like, y'all still arguing. So, arguing is definitely... So, there's a difference between arguing and disagreeing.
Or spatting.
Or spatting. Okay, so those 3. Arguing, disagreeing, and spatting. Because you can disagree and not argue. You can spat and not argue.
And spat is like, something, just a real quick.
A quick jab.
Yeah, get on my nerves. Okay, that's it. And they be like, okay, I'm sorry. No, I don't know. I felt a little irritated at the moment, but we're good now. We're good.
Right.
That's a spat.
A quick temper that doesn't lead to a
throwing dishes and cussing and fussing and hard
or
down.
Doesn't lead to a tense exchange. So we will call an argument a tense exchange.
Okay.
An intense. Is it tense or intense?
Intense.
An intense exchange.
Boop boop.
All right. So yeah, Zakar, you know we gotta talk because I've been seeing you post about a whole fiance you ain't told me nothing about. So he don't exist to me until we've talked. Period. Ooh. Until I've done a once over for him because I don't like him at all because you ain't told me nothing about him. So we got a whole conversation we gotta have.
Tamika, she's in
what up,
the
Tamika?
building.
So
all
Timmy
right.
says disagree more. So for me, I don't like arguing.
She don't like arguing.
All right. Okay. So let's talk about that. Right.
All right. Let's get to it.
Conflict will always arise when you have, baby, just please let her
Any type of relationship.
Yeah. All right, so what's up, Erica? Right?
Hey.
Yes. So conflict will always arise when you have two people in any type of exchange or relationship, whether it be business, whether it be domestic, or whether it be couples, or whatever the case it be. So conflict is going to arise.
Right.
And there are ways to disagree, ways to have an exchange of differences of opinions and not argue. Arguing is non-productive.
It's very non-productive. It's just loud talking. Nobody's hearing one another. And we're not seeking to understand the other person.
Right.
Just hear what I'm saying and get my point across. That's it.
And the reality is that most of us tend to lean to that as our first...
That's the default.
Offense. So first defense. Yeah, default. That's our default. Where we just want to get our point across, and we usually lead with our ego and lead with our pride ahead. And so it's who can be the best at being sarcastic, or who can be the best at yelling the loudest, or who can be the best at intimidating.
Or winning this argument.
The most, all that's about winning, but these are the ways you try to win.
Yeah.
Being intimidating in the argument, or manipulative. Intimidating may be yelling or pointing and being kind of violent with at least your movements, or even your voice. Manipulating is the whole ultimatums, or I'm leaving, or you just shut down. Some of y'all think that I don't argue, I just ain't gonna say nothing. Well, you are. You just doing it in a manipulative way. You just shut down and you got an attitude because now you're manipulating the whole situation. You know what I mean? What's some other ways? Where you're being condescending. Jump in a bit, but you know you're being aggressive. You're being condescending in your language to make the other person feel dumb or less than. You're being what's the other word?
You belittle.
Belittle. Yeah. None of this is actual communication, because at the end of this, the root of what we're talking about is communication. And because most of us don't know how to communicate, we tend to argue. And arguing is just simply...
Temper tantrum.
Yeah. Say it again, baby.
It's a temper tantrum with work. Patronizing. That's good. Patronizing. Yes, that's good. What? She's like, okay, Pastor Gosh.
Yeah, so... There we are with the whole arguing thing. And when you have not, you can be passionately in love with a person or passionately connected. Because some of y'all call love that ain't got to do with love. Ain't love at all. Hey, Miss Carla.
Hi, Carla.
But some of you can be intensely passionate about a person or towards a person. And because of that intensity, I forgot what I was about to say there. To be quite honest with you, I lost my train of thought.
You can come off argumentative or come off harsh or rough.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But you can be intensely passionate about a person and or in love with a person, and the fact that there is a disagreement or a disagreeing exchange throws you all off.
And so it's like, what is happening? It's not supposed to be this way.
And so your arguing is because you're highly disappointed. Like, I'm not supposed to, we're supposed to always be on the same page or, the terms. Now, we all supposed to be on the same vibe.
Yeah.
And now we're not vibing. Our energy, our energy.
Stop.
Our energy is off now. And so you can't believe that this person who you are passionately connected to, y'all are not quite, where you want to be. And now it reminds you of some other relationship. It's like, that was back then and
You become very fearful. So now you're operating out of fear.
And so now you're hollering and screaming because you're fearful that this is going to turn out like the last one.
Yeah.
Because you all are starting to disagree or whatever. And here's the reality. You go into the relationship with false expectations that because we've connected so much, because we in love so much, that we will not have a disagreeing exchange. You just need to grow up and mature up to figure out how to have a disagreeing exchange that does not equate in something is wrong with us.
And growing up and maturing simply means be considerate. Listen. Stop. It's not always about you. You are not the end all be all. You need to wait your turn to speak. I mean, it's simple things that we were taught in kindergarten. Be quiet when someone else is speaking so you can actually listen and hear what they're saying, and not just be quiet just so you can say, okay, I was quiet when you talk, because you sitting there thinking of, oh, he said, okay, I got something for that. Okay, because a lot of times people do that. Yeah. They're not really listening to actually hear and seek to understand. They're listening so they can say, okay, now this, remember when you said this? Okay, I got something for that. Remember this time, blah, 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 blah. They're just stacking up their list and what is that? Their ammunition. They're arming themselves so they can just come back out and hit you with the punches. But that's not mature.
So one of the things you got to do is, and maybe we need to talk about this, is what are below the belt jabs? Yeah, big so we can determine, okay, look, we're not going to go below the belt. So we got to figure out, so what are the below the belt jabs? Y'all start naming some. One of them is,
don't talk about mama.
Like, don't go below the belt. And see, and here's the thing. When you're with somebody, you are the person who knows how to hurt them the most. You know the below, especially if they've allowed you in to their life and you're vulnerable with them and connected with them. They know what's below the belt. And so they know, and if they really want to shut you down real quick, they know exactly where to go in order to shut it down.
And that's not good, because, and that's also a key with being mature. You don't hit below the belt. You don't say what can shut. I can shut you down. If I want to do that, that's. I mean, we're not on the playground. This is a real relationship. We have to figure out what's the goal, what's the end goal, to come to some type of compromise, or some type of understanding. Even the whole, okay, we're just gonna agree to disagree. We're gonna agree to disagree.
I hate that. I hate that with a passion. Like, what the hell does that even mean?
It really is supposed to be, okay, we have different viewpoints, and we're never going to agree that this is how it's this. You're not going to agree with what I'm saying. I'm not going to agree with what you're saying. So let's just drop this conversation. We'll pick it up another time.
Yeah, but often, let's agree to disagree is often, whoever said that is often the person who just wants to stop. And that's your sly way of controlling when this conversation stops.
It could be wants to stop, or I want you to think like me. So you won't think like me. So there ain't no need for me to just
So that's still immature when it's not done, used in the right way.
Correct. When it's not used in the right way. Danielle says, below the belt jabs are things you speak on that I told you in my vulnerability or was a broken part of me. Yeah, like if I'm down and I told you something, like she said, when I was being real vulnerable, and then you bring it back up.
I don't know why there's such a thing. I'm not gonna go over that. We're not gonna argue about that. But I don't know why there's such a thing, especially for women. We talked about this before, wherein it's like you throwing it up in my face. No, I'm using it as a reference.
Because what if somebody say, listen, I was in school and I did some things I wasn't proud of because I needed money for XYZ.
Right.
And so now that we on hard times, you like, hey, remember what you did in school? I need you to get back out there. That's
point of reference.
That ain't no point of reference.
That's a point of reference. Back up.
That is, chest. That is.
Chest, back, relax. Come on, hey Tiffany.
That's you trying.
Tiffany, come get your dog, Tiffany.
Right, that's the wrong time. And you try me, dog. Why would you? I tell you, that's something that somebody did at their lowest point.
Nigeria.
Now you want me? I done got with you, hey Nige, and we're at our lowest point, or at a low point.
Yeah, I
you
get
think
that.
I'm gonna get back out there?
But the point is, what? I understand what you're saying, but the point is, it is like, I think you should bring it up when you're telling a person something. Preface it with, never bring this up ever again.
That joke don't work.
But if we are talking and I'm sharing stuff with you, you're sharing stuff with me, then now we have inside secrets or inside conversations, gotta be secrets, inside conversations that we know about one another. Like Uncle Arthur said, we're just making a point.
But it don't come out that way.
That you needed it?
Oh.
That we know about one another. So to me, we can have that exchange. Because don't nobody else know this about you, but I do. And there's some things about me nobody else know but you. And so when we talk about this, can I not reference those things that we have an intimate connection about?
But it's not coming off as a reference or making a point or whatever. It doesn't. We don't receive it that way. We receive it as a manipulative tactic that you're using.
Do you say make your point when you're not mad?
Right. Now,
well, I ain't got the point when I ain't mad. I just make it when it's.
Well, you need to write it down and remember it.
Okay, here's another one.
For later.
Another below the belt is calling each other names.
Oh yeah, definitely. Nah, what's up, Coda? Ain't no bringing this up as a reference. Okay.
I mean, y'all do the same thing. Bringing the stuff up. Like, you did that when you was such a so-and-so. What?
Some women, yes, they do that. You bought such a so-and-so and she did this, that. She treated
and
you
now
like
I can't
this.
have my, you know.
That's manipulative and that's immaturity. It is.
But you've painted a picture of yourself when you told me those things of your past. Mm-hmm. And so now this is how I know you. I know you from...
No, you don't know them like that. You don't know.
No.
They ain't that person.
No. I know you from what you have painted the picture of yourself with.
I'm all right, girl.
Back.
She's trying to come to my rescue. Yeah.
I know you from what you have, from what picture you've painted.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you know from what? Hey, Deidre.
I know you from the picture you've painted, from the stories you've told me. I don't know you. We just met. You know what I mean? We've been together 2-3 months, right? And all I know is from what you told me. Mm-hmm. And whatever we've done in the 3 months to be together. So I got to go talk about what you told me from your last.
Now, we ain't talking about no 2-3 month relationship like that. Now,
yes, because I mean, Zakaria don't know this guy. She talking about a fiance.
You don't know that.
She met him 2 weeks ago.
Don't say that. You like. See how you coming for you, girl? Hi, Miss Linda. Hello, everyone that's just joining. Hello.
All right, okay, so let's just get off of that. Calling each other names is definitely
that's a no-no, right? That's a no-no. You just don't do that. It's not right. It's disrespectful, and it's low. So yeah, that's something you don't want to do because the conversation is not going to be about what it's supposed to be. You called me what? I can't believe you called me that, and it's taking a whole different turn. Danielle said, if you're using this picture I painted to hit me with during an argument, I'm ready to move further. Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
Wait, let's go over that again. Because I'm trying to move off of this to agree to disagree. But y'all keep bringing me back in. What did she say? If you use this point of reference, what?
If you use that as a point of reference during an argument, to try to hit me with during an argument, I'm ready to move furniture. Because it's like... now you trying me.
No, right now I'm upset because probably I'm upset.
And it's because you're upset.
But wait, no. Probably I'm upset because what you showed me from you telling me about you don't match what you're doing or what I'm getting from you.
That's something.
So that's upsetting to me because I thought you were blah. Mm-hmm. Or I thought you was not this type of person, right? Mm-hmm. And what I'm getting is opposite. So now I'm coming to you. But before you did whatever, what the picture I got from you
It's like, okay, so
was
keep
that
that
you
in
were,
my mind.
No, it was that you were blue. Because remember you told me that you did X, Y, and Z?
I mixed
And I thought that you were blue.
yellow and green together, so I'm blue. Okay.
I don't even know what I'm saying. You keep interrupting me.
Go ahead.
We need to turn this off so we can argue and get
Negro.
back on.
No. We're not arguing.
You understand what I'm saying?
I don't like to argue. I don't like to argue.
Go ahead. I can't even remember what I was saying.
Jared, the thing is, you're saying that, okay, if somebody told you, this is what I did, or I did this, or I used to do that, or I remember this, whatever stories y'all shared during the dating time, during the course of your time, and now you created this image that this is who this person is. This is who you are because of everything you told me from your past or whatever. I'm a Scorpio. I ain't lying. Okay, that's what you are. Is what you're saying, right?
The point I'm making, I don't want to keep going over this. The point I'm making is, I guess what I hear you all saying is, don't bring up my past.
A lot of times, yeah. Because if we found somebody that we're good with and we shared ourselves, it's like I'm telling you everything. I'm letting you into all the innermost.
Right, but whoever you are with me today is a sum total of all you've been before me.
Past tense.
Right, but whoever you are today is a sum total of all that you were before me. And so why are we erasing all of that before me when that is who made you who you are today?
Because the Bible says we
God.
are new creatures.
Anyway, let's keep going.
You're not going to keep bringing up this old stuff.
I feel like the past is the past for a reason. Yeah, the past is the past for a reason, but it's also made you who you are.
It is true.
You get angry about what you get angry today because of what happened in your past.
Yes.
You are attracted to what you're attracted today because of what happened in your past. You like the food you like today and dislike the food you like today because of what you did or did not do through your stomach in the past. So the past is definitely the past. However, it is the makeup of your present.
True, correct. Don't erase, just don't bring it up in the argument. Thank you, dear. Moving on.
Okay, I get that. Come on, dear, set us straight.
Yes, it is.
Because it
is relevant in this argument if you're using it to throw jabs.
Right, because, so if it's, I think there should just be a very direct idea. Just don't bring it up in an argument. Because you can't say that it's not relevant, because it may be quite relevant to this disagreement that we're having, which is why the hell I brought it up. So, but if you just got a rule, don't bring up my past misfortunes in the argument, then say that. But don't all of a sudden get upset because it seems quite relevant for me to bring it up because of whatever it is that I'm bothered by.
And a lot of times it's like, okay, we are who we are, and we don't want, this is who we were, and we don't want you to have that image of who I am now in your mind. So don't bring that up, because now you're trying me. Now you're trying to take me back to a place.
All right.
And that's just how we feel. So
let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there.
Okay.
So if this is a situation, now we're in an argument. Now, what do we do and not do about this? Because this can be a whole argument. So what do we do about this? Because again,
how do we end it?
The question was, there you go. Question was, how do we know when an argument has ended?
No, how do we know when to end it?
That's not what the question was. But that's a good question. But the question is, knowing when an argument has ended.
Okay. I totally
made your own thing up.
I didn't make it up. I just understood it differently.
Or made your own thing up.
Whatever. But does that really have to be said? Right. Did that have to be said?
Did it have to be said? It only does not have to be said if you tell me. If you
ain't trying to make a point.
No, if you tell me not to bring up my past misfortunes in the argument. Because other than that, it may be why we are having this conversation.
Okay, so
we may be having this conversation
ladies,
about that.
I'm speaking to the ladies. Henceforth, make sure you let your man know, or your companion know. Don't bring this up in an argument.
All right, here we go. So Danielle says that you know when an argument has ended when it is no longer productive.
When we're not getting to that goal. If we're starting to take a turn, you're getting tense, or I'm getting tense, or I've said everything I need to say, but you still want to keep talking. And it's like,
But you got to be careful with that, because I said everything I needed to say. Doesn't mean that you listened to anything I needed to say. You just you just dumped on me, or you just came out and shot your combo of jabs and uppercuts, and now you feel better because you got it off, because you knocked the hell out of me, and I'm good. You want that's not productive either.
No, that's not productive. Right? It's no longer productive. It's not being productive. I think
it may even start unproductive. If you come at me yelling, or you go at her screaming and hurling out allegations and accusations, then it's not even productive from the beginning.
Correct. So I feel that an argument has ended once both parties, because you can't argue by yourself, once both parties are more at ease on the inside and just with one another. Because I mean, there are times when we say, okay, we're not going to talk about it no more. But like me, there are times I'm like, okay, give me 50 feet because I need to digress. I don't want to be touched. I don't want you to look at me. I want to just go in the bathroom by myself. Or he may say, I need to, leave for a hot second. I got to go. Because you get to that point when you really heated, where it's like, I really want to square up with you. But I don't want to hit you. I don't want to hurt you, but I want to fight you. And so you have to have that space.
What? You don't want to hit me?
Because I don't want to hit you because I love you. But I want to fight you because I feel like you just tried me like I'm in the streets.
But you don't want to hit me, but you want to fight. What's the difference?
No. I don't want to hit you. I want you to feel the wrath. But
walking away from a conversation and coming back to, what'd you say? And go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. Walking away from a conversation, coming back to it.
It's important.
It's important. Okay.
Okay. When the conversation is going in circles, y'all keep saying the same thing in different ways and continue to not reach a resolution in the conversation. That's a good point too. I agree with that. That's a good point, because it's like, okay, we just.
But you gotta think about it though.
And it's like, we already get to that conclusion. Why are we coming back?
But you all have to be. All that sounds ideal, but all of that can be. God isn't finished with me yet. But okay, wait a minute. A whole lot of stuff we're gonna miss. Go ahead. I want to make sure we get everything. Okay. Oh, this was when you were talking that. Okay.
Yeah.
Chokehold. All right, so all of that sounds ideal. I think, what's the name? Zakaria said,
coming back to it.
Come back to it. Erica said, when y'all are going in circles, to end the combo. Mm-hmm. That sounds ideal. But if you two are both not in agreement that we're going in circles, then that is a... That's going to light the match.
I was going to say it'll reignite it. Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful. You all have to be in agreement that we are going in circles. Not one saying, you know what, this ain't going nowhere, and you done said that 5 times, and all we're doing is going in circles, so I'm done. Mm-hmm. That's going to ignite fire. Mm-hmm. So in order for an argument to end, somehow or another, you both have to get on a plane of maturity. Because other than that, I don't care what the other person does. If you say, you know what, I'm out, I need to go, I'll come back to it later. And if the other person wasn't quite ready for that, or the other person was still in conversation, you just got irritated with it and say, you know what, it's best for us to just leave, or best for me to just leave, that will ignite it.
Now, I'm going to put this shameless plug in here. You guys need to come and talk with Gerard and I so that we can teach you the proper way to have a disagreement. Moving forward.
What up, Kodak?
Hey, Kodak. He says, what should you do when your female don't trust you, but you never gave her a reason not to? Ooh.
Well, you got to give us a little more.
What's the tea? That's pretty. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead, Mercy. Keep
Nope, you got it.
Yeah, Kodak, you got to give us a little more. You got to give us a little more on that. Because you may be saying that you never gave her reason to not trust you, but it may be you may have given her reason to not trust you. Maybe she hasn't shared what those reasons were, or maybe you are dating a broken woman who it doesn't really matter what you do. She's not going to trust you because of her past. Mm-hmm. Yet y'all keep trying to act like it ain't there, that you got to bring up when you had this conversation with her.
It could be the latter. I was thinking, to answer that question, maybe she's just don't trust anyone. Yet she wants a companion, but she hasn't learned how to relax her guard and break down that wall so that she can be receptive to trust. Maybe she was, like you said, really broken from past relationships, and it's like, right, I think she's broken, and I'm trying.
And how are you trying?
What dog? Dig on in now.
Yeah. You think she's broken, and you said you're trying. How are you trying? Because if you think she's broken, for one, that needs to be a conversation that you all need to have candidly. Mm-hmm. What happened to you in your past? Okay. So that I can actually now talk about your past. Mm-hmm. And then so that we can help, I will probably have to bring up your past.
And that's fine.
Although Dia said don't bring it up in an argument.
No, it's not saying don't bring up your whole past. It's something that we mentioned. Like for instance, like the example that I used, or just something that, I did something in my past that I'm not proud of, and I just told you I did something I wasn't proud of. I'm sure they probably said that they weren't proud of it, but then now, like I said, later on, we get to a point where we hurt and we need money. He's like, remember that thing you did? Why don't you go try to do that? That's trying to prove a point. Because that's the past.
Why are you bringing up that particular example? What the hell did you do?
I ain't do nothing.
Remember that thing you did? We need some money. You said
my uncle on here.
You talking about some money and you done made.
My uncle on here.
In the past.
I ain't made no money like that in the past.
Huh?
I ain't made no money like that in the past.
You see what I said?
Did you hear me?
Tell me that story.
I'm just saying that's an example of something that happens. Or like a guy,
okay, we get it.
Because I'm finna go there.
Anyway, so what was saying to, who is it? Kodak? Yes. So Erica said at some point you did what? The issue
is she never addressed it. Oh, okay. So something that he may have did probably triggered her.
Yeah, it may not be something that Kodak you did that was in violation, but it could have been something that triggered her, which could be her own issue, her own struggle, her own insecurity, her own jealousy, her own shortcomings, and you may have triggered something that's happening in her,
and unknowingly.
Right? It doesn't necessarily. Maybe you did do something that you weren't supposed to do, and you were just straight foul.
She don't know, and you think she don't know. Good.
Yeah. So this is difficult for me at times because of my past, but I trust until given a reason not to.
That takes
wait. I trust until given a reason not to. That's not true. So really what you're saying is that you're looking for a reason to not trust.
Unconsciously.
You don't trust until you're given a reason not to, because just because somebody did something that you disagree with that may have hurt you, don't mean that you all of a sudden need to not trust them.
Because that's like the first thing they do, you out the door.
I don't trust you. You gave me a reason to not trust you because of. No. When that thing happened, something happened in you, and now you've put them in the on the list of people to not trust because they may have done something very similar that triggered a hurt from the past. And it could be. Here's another thing. It could be that your behavior causes this action in others, no matter who they are. Same thing kind of continues to happen because whoever you have become has caused you to produce this in others when they are with you. The recipe of you and them from what you've been through equals this.
Oh, wait a minute.
What did you do?
Not story time.
How about you?
I did.
Hey!
Story time.
There's something strange for that change.
I ain't did nothing like that. Y'all listen to
Nah, my baby ain't did nothing like that.
If you want to.
Nah, I'm good. Okay, Kodak. Hey man, listen, okay, Kodak, I appreciate you sharing.
I know, because a lot of times guys don't get on here and they don't share like that. Period. So thank you.
Yes, on the triggers, but that's the importance of open communication and honesty.
Yes.
Good. Y'all on point. Wait on y'all to say y'all got a book.
What on tip? Boy.
Yeah. Jared and I would fight every day. Bobby knows. That works for me, please.
I legit don't need a reason to trust someone.
What she say?
To not trust someone. She don't need a reason to not trust.
Right, because that may be that's how you lead. You lead with this. Yeah, so going back to, the question probably should be how to end it.
how do we end it? Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, somebody needs to be what is called, people call the bigger person. Somebody needs to come to the point. Yeah, they both need to eventually. But somebody needs to come to the point and say, you know what, we are being childish. I'm acting like a dumb fool because I'm arguing at you, I'm hollering and I'm yelling, and this is not going anywhere. And you better be careful with that. If you start making this speech, don't say I'm acting like a fool, hollering and screaming.
Yes, you are.
And you acting like an idiot, hollering and screaming. Don't talk about them. Just talk about you.
Okay, because then it's gonna take a turn.
Yeah. So it has to be. It comes to a point that we are. I think Danny said it. We ain't going nowhere. This is non-productive. And see, the problem is how to calm yourself down.
Yeah.
Because you can be like, you can be hollering, cussing them out, and straight winning the argument, and in your head thinking this is stupid, and this is going to end badly, and I'm gonna have to pay for this for the next 3 weeks with her attitude, or with him, or 3 years with his attitude. But because you're still heated, you won't get out of that. Because you can say, I know in your mind, I know I need to go and stop this and let this go, but you're heated. And the arguing, the yelling, or the cussing is feeding or satisfying you being heated.
Yes. What I was going to say, it all boils down to choices and mindset. You have to make up in your mind, listen, this is not what I want for my relationship or my marriage. What are we doing? What am I doing? You can only control yourself. So you have to look within yourself, stop, and make the wise choice to be mature, to be respectful. Okay, this conversation is really starting to take a toll. It's starting to get tense, and we don't need it to be. John and I really, really practice that. Like, okay, you didn't even do anything, but I'm starting to get irritable. So I'm letting you know now because I can feel myself getting tense. So let me take a break, or I say I'm just letting you know I'm getting irritable. So let's figure out how we can help me not get irritable. Because if I get irritable, he's gonna get irritable, and that ain't gonna work.
And you gotta be honest, but like Zakaria just said, be considerate. And be mindful, because like you say, if you are getting irritated, say that to me.
Yeah.
And
you can pick up on it.
I can pick up on it. Hey, you all right?
No, I'm fine. Let's keep going. That ain't gonna help.
Yeah. And now here's the other flip side, because some people are people pleasers, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, so that we don't argue and get all mad, and I know this is gonna end bad, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna argue. But what you do is now you are holding in the things you need to really talk about.
Okay.
Or you're letting people get away with being dumb. And because you want to people please, or because you say, this is not how we should be, this is not the ideal relationship that I want, then you don't talk about it at all. You just keep letting stuff go. And you need to know this about men. I was telling a female this yesterday, that first three things. Men are simple. We know exactly what we want. We're very decisive. We're not indecisive. You may think we're just indecisive, but we're not. And thirdly, immediately getting with you, we are trying to figure out what we can get away with. I'll say it again. Men are simple, we are decisive, and we're always trying to figure out what we can get away with. So when we first meet you, we're decisive. We have already determined what we want to do with you. Are you wife material? We want to date you, or we just gonna play around with you? We're not gonna take you serious.
Quit it, and do.
Yeah, or you're somebody that we need to impress or court. We've made a decision in just meeting you. And once we have start pursuing you and you are giving us some type of play, we are now trying to figure out what we can get away with. Will I have to, be present with her? Or will I have to be a gentleman with her? Or will she allow me not to call her 3-4 days and do my own thing, and then call her, and then as soon as I call her, she is excited that I called, so okay, yeah, I can play this game. You know what I mean? Do I really have to be responsible with her? Can I take advantage of her? Immediately, we are trying to figure out what we can get away with you. And here's the reality: immediately, you are training us how to treat you. Immediately. All right, and so if there's some things there that you need to talk about to the females, and because you so in love with him and you don't want him to leave you, or you don't want him to be upset with you, or you don't want him to be hurt, or not hurt, but you don't want him to be irritated with you, and you let stuff go, or you don't want to have an argument, or he is upset and you trying to calm him down and you know he wrong as hell, you keep doing that, you are building the platform for him to walk on over you. He didn't build that, you build that. Because you keep allowing him to get away with this stuff, and you keep just taking it because you want to just appease and keep peace and stuff and so on. And now you have bent over, built a platform on your back, and he's walking over you.
Child. Okay, Kodak says, definitely mature. If one's mature and the other is not, it's not going to go anywhere. That is true. Araceli
says the goal is to resolve it and understand where we both are coming from and come to an agreement or understanding. Absolutely.
Correct. Even if you guys don't agree, I see your viewpoint, and this is my viewpoint. We may be on different, viewpoints, but eventually, because we're connected, we'll come like this.
Right. And
eventually.
If you don't agree with me, that doesn't mean that you don't have my back, or you're not connected to me, or whatever it may be.
Danny says, men be skating on a line of violence, just living a dangerous life. Living their life dangerously. Yes, girl. Why do they do that sometimes?
Let's keep moving.
Oh, okay. I'm not wrapped too tight. He doesn't want to try it. Okay, I feel you, girl. Don't try it.
So you got to. So how do you end it? End it by. Y'all can do some
decision. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I said 7 words.
Go ahead.
And it was time for you to interrupt, because once I get to 7,
that's
8,
too much.
There you go. See. So, make up some things that you all come up with. That you can do. Some, what is it called? Some, maybe some code words.
Those really do help. Especially when you're in public and, somebody starts feeling whatever. You just do that code word. Pineapples.
All right.
Parakeet.
All right. Like, I know when we were growing up, my mom had a code word for us. And my mother, all of us are nearing 40 now. But if we're around, my mom can still use the same code word, and we all know. And the code word is mercy. So when we were growing up, it was a whole lot of us. We may be all in the car, mom trying to talk to somebody at church, through the window of the car. And we hollering and screaming and hitting one another back and forth from the front to back seats. And she could be talking to them and never turn her back. And she can say mercy. The whole car get quiet. Because we knew that meant, that was a code word. And she told us, code. When I'm talking around people, or I got somebody else around me or whatever, and I say mercy, that means shut it down. And so that's a code word. My mom can be talking to somebody, and hey, mom. And she may not even look back at us, but if she say mercy, that means let it go, little dog. Ask me later. So you can come up with a code word.
All right. Tamika says, I'll just say you're absolutely right and dismiss myself. You gonna start an argument because he gonna bump right
back of your head.
Whatever. She gonna turn right back and come right back around with it.
You gonna dismiss yourself? Oh, so you leaving me? You leaving me now?
Our code. See.
Tamika, raise your hand.
No, girl, receive this.
Receive this repentance of the Lord.
Take away this.
My soul. You need to repent. All right. What else? Timmy said, yeah. I was just telling my other half about starting to use code words. Absolutely.
They work. They help.
And it's really a sign of respect of one another.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we understand that. Hey, I understand that you're getting irritated, and I respect that you're getting irritated right now, or I respect that you're upset with me right now, and I respect perhaps that you don't want to talk about it right now. And so the code word is whatever the code word is, and let's respect the code word, or else it doesn't work, or it's null and void. If we don't respect the code word, then it really shows a person that is incredibly selfish, that we've determined a code word when we were good. When we were all lovey-dovey. We decided, hey, when this happens, do that. But because your heat is so important to you, your tension is so important, you got to say that.
You're gonna handle this now.
Even regardless of the red light. Now you about to put other people's lives in danger because you just have to run the red light when the red light means stop, little dog.
Because I'm gonna knock all this stuff over in him. Okay, Kodak says, one last question. Is it okay for a man to just want to sit on the phone in silence sometimes when you're on the phone with your lady? I don't
Yes.
see why not. Y'all may fall asleep together.
Yes.
Oh, are y'all in the butterfly stages? How long have you been with your lady?
Yeah, how long you been with your lady? But it depends on what are you talking about. When you want to do that, is that because that when you're upset, or that's just something you just like doing from an intimate standpoint?
Because I like to put my ear next to his nose and hear him breathe.
Yeah, so this is a fetish that I really need to look
You need
up.
help? Blink.
I need to look what?
You need help? Look at them and blink.
My wife has a fetish. She likes me to breathe in her ear.
Not like that, nigga. I mean, buddy.
She likes to hear me breathing in her ear. Not like hear me breathing because I'm alive.
Yeah.
Like hear me breathing.
Not like that.
How about shoot?
You heard
How
about
about
that?
shoot?
Ouch.
How about shoot? How about shoot?
Oh, yeah. You know I get weak. Don't do that in front of people.
What? D says code words are very helpful.
I get so weak.
She don't like that. Not like that, nigga.
Who said that? Oh, God.
All right, Tiffany says, depends, my guy and I talking all day. Every day, we don't ever run out of things to talk about. You still have. But it's the point of your attention being elsewhere the entire time you can hit my line back, sir. Okay, we fell asleep together sometime on the phone. All right, got it.
Okay.
So she's saying if your attention is elsewhere, which is why you're quiet, then no.
Yeah,
but
it's like playing a game or something.
yeah.
Hello?
Rashanika. What's up, Rashanika?
Hey.
Okay, listen.
Oh, God. Okay.
Where's Cedric?
Cedric's birthday is today, guys.
Oh, yeah, Cedric's
Let's all
birthday.
wish him a happy birthday because I know he's going to go back and watch this. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
Cedric with his wife. I hope they having a great time. Yeah. And his son, Lamar. You need to call him. His old crazy self.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So we got but a few more minutes left. I don't want to go over time. But yeah, definitely come up with a code word. Here's another way you can end this. Where these things. Hey, Shayla, cousin Shayla, Happy New Year. All right, wait. So here's another code. I mean, not code. Here's another way you can help end an argument. Again, an argument is an unproductive exchange, an unproductive tense exchange. What up, niece?
That's my sweet niece. Hey, Joy Bell.
All right. So another way, these things have to happen before an argument. Have to happen when you guys are cool, wherein you determine. What we're going to do when we're starting to get tense. Like you may say, okay, when we're starting to get tense, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab your hands and ask for permission to grab your hands and tell you, hey, I think we're starting to get heated. Can we take a break, or can we just get silent for a second?
Please have this discussion before. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have this discussion by yourself, and then y'all get tense and you go to grab her.
What you say? Boop, boop, pull back.
But you can have a conversation ahead of time. Look, when we're getting tense, and I know we don't want to be that way, I know we don't want to get there, then I'm going to ask you, can I hold your hands?
No.
And in that moment, and we're just going to take a 10-second silence and hope to bring ourselves back in. And then we can determine if we can talk about that right now or if we need to wait for a second.
And this stuff takes practice.
Takes practice.
It takes a lot of practice. Even if you're doing it like when y'all joking, just you gotta practice it. You gotta practice it.
Here's another one. Now this is what Marquita and I have done We do something different now, I guess, but we've done this in the past. Wherein when we are there, not about to get there, when we in it, I would decide to leave the house or the environment. But I couldn't just leave, because if I just leave and, in the heat of a situation, that ignites it, that turns the fire up. But I would say, hey, I need to leave, and she would know where I'm going, how long I'm going to be there, and who I'm going to be with. And usually in that type of situation, when you leave, you don't be with nobody. You go by yourself somewhere, and they know, and she knew where I was going. I would go to the Publix parking lot, which was 5 minutes away from our home at that time. And I would sit there by myself, not talking to anybody. I didn't call anybody on the phone. I would just sit there by myself for 30 minutes. I'll be back in 30 minutes. And that's what I would actually do. That gave her time to get herself together, and gave me time to get myself together. And we knew when we were apart, it was our time to calm back down, to try and talk more rational.
That took a lot of wisdom, and that took a lot of practice as well. Because, hi, Miss Shirley Reed. It's so good to have you on.
Hey, Miss Shirley.
But it takes a lot of practice, and it took wisdom.
Yep.
Because it got to be you and God. Because you really need to not think about what you're going to say when they come back.
Right. But
you actually have to take time to detach from it. Calm yourself down. Sit. And so when you come back together, you can approach it like it's a brand new conversation.
But it's important that you don't add anybody's opinions, advice, wisdom, none of that during that moment. It's no influence. It's just you by yourself.
Yeah, because any little thing, anybody else, can easily influence you when you are at that point, at that peak. They could say one thing. The one thing that you just needed somebody to say to confirm. That's it. You don't need that in your mind. You don't need to add that. No input from the peanut gallery.
Absolutely. Yeah, because the peanut gallery is slime. Is either creamy or crunchy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, so we're going to ask y'all. We're going to be big about this. We're going to ask you guys to be our accountability partners. Yes. Marquita, although we don't put y'all in our business, but anyway, Marquita and I have decided that we are no longer going to argue.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to argue.
It's just not.
We will disagree about things.
After 15 years?
Yeah, we will have some tense disagreements, not exchanges. There's a difference. But we're not going to argue. Or we're going to have some tense conversations. Yeah. That's not tense exchanges, but intense conversations. But we agreed not to argue. I think we've been doing good.
And you know the difference between just having an intense conversation and an actual all-out argument.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Yeah. Because you can just be passionate about something. No, this is what I'm saying. And that person can be just as passionate. But, okay, you're not to that point where you're immature. You are being immature and irrational. Right. And inconsiderate of the other person that you're talking with. It's a difference. Right. So when you do get to have intense conversations, you're still, I want to say in control, because you're in control the whole time. Like I personally don't believe in that. I blacked out or I snapped. It's like all of that to me is choices.
It is. There's such thing as I just blacked out or I just lost control. No, you did not.
I saw red. Yeah. All of that. You chose to ignore the rational side of you, and you chose to be irrational. Whether it was you fought somebody or whatever, you chose to do it. Ranchanika said, "What if the disrespect went too far by saying anything to your partner?"
What if the disrespect went too far to say anything?
Went too far to say anything, to your partner.
I don't know if I understand that. What if the disrespect went too far to say anything to your partner? If you're at a point where you can't. I'm not understanding. So are you saying that you're so upset that you can't say anything right now? You got to give me a little more clarity on it.
Because if so, you ask. I need a minute. Just give me a minute. I need a break. Or if you feel like you're just too hurt to say anything, you have to choose to say I need a minute.
And let me just say this. Us saying that we have decided not to argue, it does not put us in a level that you all are not in.
Oh, no.
We have just decided that we don't want this in our life. And we can choose that because, like Marquita just said, we're never out of control. We're always in control. Yep. So we've decided that we don't want that. And because we don't want that, it just takes us to be committed to not wanting that. Like just something, well, it may be a far-fetched example, but we've decided that, we don't do drugs. So it's just not a part of our life. And we've decided, we don't fry food in our house. So we just don't do it. It's not. And
sometimes we want some fried shrimp and stuff. It's
not a part of it. It's just not a part of it. So we decided we're not gonna argue. So okay, we're not gonna do that. We've come to a point to where we've made some decisions and we have some type of self-discipline because we know the other side of that.
Right. You know the outcome of it, and is that necessary? Sure. You want to waste precious minutes of our lives in that state of mind or in that state?
Yeah. All right. So it's 9:32. Which means that we are out of time. But I want to make sure that Rashanika, if she's going to clarify, to throw that in there. Y'all let us know if there's anything else. I mean, not anything else, but if there are other topics that you want us to talk about. Because listen, we're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about it all. Talk about it all. Because we want to help y'all. We want to help us too. And to be quite honest with you, talking to you all, having these type of conversations helps us as well. All right, there she is.
Oh, if your partner gets disrespected in the conversation.
Yeah, that's what we talked about earlier. There needs to be some guidelines prior to us having conversations to say, don't go below this line.
Right.
Don't do this, don't do this. Now here it is. If your partner cannot respect that, then that partner doesn't need to be your partner because that's going to just be an issue.
It's going to be held
and the respect,
entire relationship.
Yeah, and then that's good, baby.
It is.
And the respect the disrespect has no boundary.
Yes.
Once you allow a person to disrespect you at this much, that line keeps going, and then the disrespect keeps intensifying.
And I know some people like me. I said you can't control everyone else's actions. So when you allow them to, if you have set a defined line saying, don't go below this line, or don't say this, I don't like it, I don't appreciate it. If they can't respect that, then that's just, in my opinion, y'all don't need to be in a relationship. Because if you've spelled it out, this is what I deem as disrespectful, and they can't respect that.
Here's what needs to happen, and we gotta leave this alone. What needs to happen is there needs to always be consequences. Now this is not your child or anything like that,
right.
But there needs to be consequences, like we used to do with our children. If they did something that they were not supposed to do, they always knew what the consequence was. All right, if you do this, then you threaten people, but they don't need to be threats. They need to be boundaries. That's what they are. If you do this, then I'm going to throw your toy out of the window.
That was the consequence.
And if they did it, the toy went out the window.
That's an example.
But it's a true example.
You do want baby toy out the window?
Yeah, a couple of them. So if they did it, the toy went out the window. Which means I didn't need to be mad. I didn't need to be angry. I need to argue. It is if you did it, I don't have to talk to you again. I'm taking the toy, I'm rolling the window down, and it's going out the window.
I did not
Period.
know this, y'all. And you littered? Oh my God.
Period. And here's the thing. Now they believe me when I say, oh!
Cedric is in the building.
The birthday boy is in the house.
Everybody is already
Cedric.
Cedric.
Cedric Jones' birthday is today. Oh, his birthday is today.
Thank you. Isn't that literally?
Hey, look, man. So the point I'm making here is that.
But make sure. Hold on, I gotta cut you off. Make sure. She say little bug. Make sure that you it's not a manipulative tactic.
Right.
The consequence. It's just. It could be as simple as if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. If you do something that I deem is disrespectful, this is how I'm going to feel. This is
Not
how
just
I'm going to feel. Wait, this is how I'm going to feel, and this is going to be my reaction to disrespect.
Right, and it doesn't have to be something immature.
Right, so I'm telling you now that if I feel disrespect, this is how I respond to disrespect, and we don't need that in our relationship.
And you should do it every single time, so they know. Okay, let me not do that.
This little joke is crazy.
Like even though it ain't gotta be nothing.
It's gonna be there.
Ain't gotta be nothing crazy. Cause like even with my oldest daughter's mother, my baby mama, if she would go awry on the phone,
You just hung up?
I just hung up.
Especially when she got started talking about me, just click.
Because before we go back and forth. All right, look, you're not gonna do that, and we're not gonna have this. So when she would go awry, boom, hang up the phone. She called back. If she called back, and if she go awry again,
She'd call back.
I hang up the phone. So it meant that if I answer the phone the next day or the next time, you know, if you think of doing that, what I'm going to do. And so she would be more careful not doing it because she understood the concept. I didn't need
Eventually, she learned.
Right. I didn't need to be argumentative with her. There was a boundary. I'm not going to allow this to happen my way. Now, I can't, stop you from doing anything.
Right.
But when you do that, it's going, and you cross my boundary, this is what's going to happen every single time.
Right. This is my reaction because I only can control me. You gonna continue to do, but it's like you said, it's a training. This is how you're going to respond to me. If you want a response out of me, this is how you're going to act.
And the Lord said, whatever y'all talking about, Lady M is wrong, and my man Jay is right.
Ain't no Lord. The Lord ain't say that. I got the Holy Ghost. And he talked to me first.
Good night.
Don't start this foolishness. He talking about be blessed, go with God.
All right, good night, y'all. It's 9:38. I want y'all to make
gonna
sure
be mad.
it'll be all right. I want y'all to make sure that y'all always come back, which is why I try to make sure that we are true to our time and we respect our time.
Your time.
Your time.
Right.
Boundary, and the consequence of us going over is me hitting the finish button. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Y'all share.
I missed y'all.
Share. See, she won't let me disrespect. Share. You want me to breathe in your ear? Share. Love y'all.